those of you who came late, my name is Richard Smoot. You're going to hear my Kabiri Quartet, named after a good friend of mine and longtime student, Human Kabiri. I'm not going to embarrass him a second time, but he's over there. He's sitting next to his mother. Now, most of what you need to know is in the notes. I'll mention a couple of things in case you haven't had a chance to look at them. This is a 4-movement quartet. You can set your watches. It's almost exactly 26 minutes. We'll be out before 10. The first movement is kind of a takeoff on George Gershwin's An American in Paris. I actually took the opening idea of An American in Paris and used it as the basis for the movement. But then it's very different after that. And, you know, a little irony, I called it An American in Persia. That would be me. The second movement, and they get pretty wild in it. I think they have a good time. In fact, the cellist, we had to figure out a way she could beat on the cello, and John Ewing found a dowel in his basement and carved it. It's a fine dowel, and she uses it to play the cello in the middle of the piece, middle of the first movement. The second movement is based upon this beautiful Persian folk song entitled Mikam Beram Ku, basically translated badly by me as Let Us Go to the Mountain. And I've entitled that movement Diaspora, and you can read the notes regarding that. The third movement is based on the story of Rumi and Shams. And the story, if you don't know it, Rumi, of course, is the famous Persian poet, author of the Mathnawi, a very famous collection of Persian poetry, mostly about love. And for this movement, I decided to play the programmatic game and tell a little story. So at the beginning, I'm evoking the idea of two friends. This would be Rumi, who's played by Charles, and Shams, played by John, who are walking along and they're just talking and they're deep in conversation. And of course, the story, that, as I understand it, is that Rumi and Shams of Tabriz developed this deep friendship that leads to almost an ecstatic state of being. And it is this that has formed the basis, supposedly, for the idea of whirling that, of course, spread into Turkey and around much of the Persian world. The story also goes that one day Shams just disappears, speculation being that he may have been murdered by followers of Rumi who were jealous. But the end of this movement is a very sad, almost like a funereal section. And the players have markings. At the beginning it says, two friends walking. In the middle it says, Shams teaches Rumi how to whirl, and you'll hear this happening. And then at the end it says, Shams has disappeared. And it's very simple things just to get the players in the right mindset. Then the last movement, which Columbus Dance Theater is coming out to interpret, is called Whirling. And I'm excited to see that as well. Now, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to turn this over to our guest singer tonight, who is going to sing the folk song unaccompanied, followed by Carpe Diem, the Shore El Hami.
Mi One